Good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. I am Tim, once again with my co-commentator Oliver for the Speed Force Racing GP4 Series Hungarian Grand Prix. Oliver, what is in store for us here in just a few moments' time? In fact, 14 seconds' time, to be exact.
Hungarian Grand Prix. Very different track to Silverstone. Very technical circuit. Mostly a corner circuit. There'll be a few places to overtake on this track. Turn 1, especially turn 3. I think that would be the most places to overtake. Turns 1 and turns 2 will be the most places to overtake. Technical circuit. There'll be a couple of places to overtake. It's not going to be like Silverstone where there's going to be like every chance of an overtake. So, Hungary. Very technical circuit, few places to overtake.
Yeah, and another weird thing about this track is that it's got that sort of half of a DRS zone just out of the first corner, and you really can't do a whole lot with it. So it sometimes I even question whether or not it even should exist, but it can give you a nice tiny little boost if you've already started to complete a pass. So it's at least something, but it's so small that you really can't work with it. So I don't expect to see a lot of overtakes there. Maybe going down the front straightaway though.
Yeah, the main straight is good to be the main spot for an overtake. But when it comes to the second turn, where you're actually gonna have the DRS again, but now we've got this overtake mode. I think that's going to make racing to the second corner a bit more interesting. If you got like a really good exit out of turn 1, if you get the traction, if you get the speed out of that corner, I'm sure there'll be some overtakes you can get into turn 2, and you can definitely compromise yourself and get the good exit going into turn 3. So yeah, I think turn 2's DRS with this overtake mode fitted into the cars, I think that won't be an issue. I think that's going to provide a lot more interesting racing, should you say.
Well, we'll wait and see, as it looks like a few drivers are starting to file out onto the track. We'll wait and see who that is. Is that a Renault?
And we've got the cars coming out on track now. Renault's out first, and I think it's Gislodian. No, it's not. It's Hyperwarskin who's out first.
Yeah, Hyperwarskin being the first to blink here. He's got a racing point behind him. I think that's the racing point of Bannister. Yes, it is. But it does look like the other Renault of Gislodian is out as well. And it looks like Hyperwarskin actually taking a little bit of a trip through the grass there. Not actually spinning around, but just taking a bit of a shortcut. So you don't want to do that during the lap. Might as well get it out of your system now.
He's just doing some lawn mowing. I'm going to have a look at some comments. And Imagine says, good luck tonight, guys. Oh,
and Hyperwarskin is spun out. Okay, well, that's unfortunate for him. Let's go take a look at his teammate, Gislodian.
And I think you said that Bannister was behind him. So yeah, Bannister and Gislodian are there as well. So Gislodian is going through the second sector now. And also we've got Bannister. Yeah, it's Bannister. So yeah, Jeff says hello. Hello to you too, Jeff. Hello to you back. And Jeff Barron says, when Tim talks, everyone is happy. Oh, bless.
Well, except my neighbors.
I think we're all kind of neighbours here in the racing division. So here's Bannister starting his lap now in the racing point. So it'd be interesting to see how he gets on. Interesting to see how AlphaTauri is going to respond today with these two cars of Dan Hookie after a disastrous race in Great Britain. Snellway taking full clutches of that opportunity while winning the race. So it'd be interesting to see how that all plans out in the championship fights going into this race today.
So riding on board with Bannister, and that is a tricky corner that he was able to nail perfectly. That uphill left-hander, I believe it's turn number 4. It always catches me off guard. Now here we're going through a little chicane through here, and these curbs are huge curbs around the Hungaroring, so you can use them, but you got to be very careful, or you're going to get a little bit loose, like Bannister just did, but it looks like he did a good job of hanging on to it. So through Sector 1 and into Sector 2 now is Bannister. He will be the first driver to set a lap, so by default he will have the fastest time through Sector 2. Whether or not he can hold on to it at the end of the qualifying session has yet to remain seen. So Bannister just now bypassing the pit entry and going around the final corner. And that's a corner that I really don't like. It's just such a wide sweeping corner. It's hard to get a good line through there. But crossing the line, Bannister's first lap, a 1:17.825.
The Haas cars are very close together, of Psychomich and Raychana. They were really, really close together. Raychana goes 2 seconds faster than them with his teammate. Hooky goes into P2 with 1:59. I'll tell you what, AlphaTauri, I feel like they're going to go be strong in the technical tracks. I do feel like that's going to happen with Hooky and Engidan. I really do think so. And also, if you think about it, they said they were not confident going to Silverstone. I can clearly see that. So I think the AlphaTauris and Snellweg, I think they're all going to do fine in this technical circuit of Hungary. But Engidan's going through turn 2 now, going into turn 3. I want to point out an interesting fact, actually, when it goes to turn 4. It's turn 5. This will be a corner. It's going to catch a lot of people out. You think you can go on the curb at this point here. You can't. If you go on that curb there, on that right-hand side, there's going to be one option where you be going, and that's going to go spin in the wrong direction. You can't touch that curb at all. It's an auto-spinning curb. Touch that, you could say goodnight to qualifying and the race as well.
That is some very good insight, Oliver, and I will say that I agree with you. Not that I have any personal experience that I can speak from there, but nonetheless, you are right. That curb will spin you if you just look at it.
You just look at it, and you just look at and you can tell about the height of the curb as well. When the car gets on there, you're going to lose all the right-hand side of the car, and that's when you're going to be you're going on like a merry-go-round trip as well. Engidan P9 puts it at 1:17.2 at the moment. Raychana was the star of the show last week in Britain. I mean, what a performance from Raychana last week, man. The dominance that he showed was unbelievable. And then he raced in GP3. What a performance as well. He was racing with the top guys in GP3. I was really, really impressed with Raychana. And right now, he is really showing his form today.
Yeah, Raychana definitely runs well at Silverstone. That is undeniable. And it looks like he might be running well at the Hungaroring today with us as well. He's on the pole yet again, at least so far, with a 1:15.658 ahead of Kara's 1:15.704. The times are much closer this week.
15.7 for Sonic Cork on the medium tyres. That's going to be very interesting to see if that time holds on for our qualifying. I very doubt it would, but I think that's a really respectable time going on the medium tyres. If he stays on that, direction, a Snellweg spins on the auto spin curb as he proves my point as well. 2 tyres on that curb, you could say merry-go-round and spinning, and that's what he did.
Unfortunate for Snellweg, although I don't think he has any damage, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of repair work to be done in the pits. However, that is a set of tires that is basically useless now, unfortunately for him. But he might be able to get a little bit of use of them out in the race if a catastrophe happens, but I'm sure that the goal is for that to not happen. So those tires, bye-bye.
Yeah, true. A couple more comments coming in. Fletcher says the crossover is feeling it. Bring it. The crossover man is feeling it. Bring it on, Hungary. Says Fletcher. He's very fired up for this race. Tree Spotting Man says go Hyperwar, go RP Hyperwar and Shuttle Lancer. Go Team Rising Phoenix. So really, Street Sport Fan is supporting Lancer and Hyperwarskin today from the Rising Phoenix League. And Matt G says, "Gutted, I'm missing this week. Been very fast around here." Matt G is gutted not racing today. I can really feel his pain. If you're strong around a track that you like, you're gonna have a big massive advantage.
Well, good to see that there's some viewers piling in, watching Snellweg.
Yeah, definitely.
Guess we're watching the same car, Oliver, but yeah, riding on board with Snellweg. I honestly expected him to pull into the pits and put on a fresh set of tires, but apparently he doesn't think that the damage to the tires was significant enough to do so. And so far, it looks like he's going pretty good for him, and I guess it's good for him to just
it's not like Germany where everyone's flat spotting their tires all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I can get on board with that there. So let's see. He's going to have a time here in just a moment. But you were talking about tires earlier, Oliver. I do want to point out that Rage Hunter ran a 1:15.6 on the medium tires. I do believe.
Did he? If he was on the Sonic Hawk was the one who ran a 15.7 on the mediums.
Actually, no, I am mistaken. He is on the medium tires now. He did set a time
he's on the medium
soft tires
now.
Yes, and Snellweg set a faster time on the softs, a 1:15.2.
That's interesting to see from Rage Hunter.
The question is, will he be able to go faster on the medium tires?
That'd be interesting to see. We're about to find out in about a couple of corners' time.
No, he's going into the pit, so not going to be faster this lap.
Oh, okay.
Now, Oliver, you have a little bit more driving experience in league racing than I do, so a question for you is, what benefit would Rage Hunter have to go out there for a lap or a half lap or however long he was on medium tires without setting a lap time, and after he's already set a fast time on softs? Is he just trying to maybe get the tires worn in a little bit? Because I've heard from some drivers, particularly with the hard compound, that after about 5, 6, 7 laps, somewhere around there, they really start to come to life. So is that maybe what he's trying to do with the medium tires?
I think what Rage Hunter's doing...
I think we've lost Oliver for a moment, so going to take a look at Fanny Lion, who's actually taking a trip through the grass. And there we go. Oliver is back. Say something.
Yeah, probably little internet glitch there. Gaming Figs, 15.2 on the soft tires now, but the drivers are pushing for the 114s.
Yeah, and they're getting close. 1:15.250 for Gaming Things, as you said, and Snellweg a 1:15.294. So very close times there at the top of the board. Rage Hunter been demoted down to third with his 1:15.658. He did not go faster on the medium tires. Didn't even set a lap on the medium tires. But we are taking a look at Fanny Line, who has invalidated his lap on the medium tires. So unfortunate for him, he's going to have to try that once more. Psychomich, though, who had a decent time at the beginning of this session, apparently was not decent enough because he's all the way down in 13th. So we'll have to wait for him to get back out on track because he's invalidated his lap also. So he's going to have to pull into the pits, get a new set of tires, and maybe try it once again. We have the stupid Clavin in the Mercedes about to finish his flying lap, actually. He's on the soft tires. Let's see what kind of pace he's going to have as Kara goes fastest. A 1:15.047 for Kara. Stupid Clavin crosses the line now, but he does not improve his time. He's going to stay in P15, but what a time from Kara.
Indeed, man. 15.0. Now everyone does need to go to the 114s to improve their times. Talking about tires, again, as I say, Dan was mentioning this in the notes. He said most people will run a soft medium around here. The best option actually is the medium hard. That's the best conservative strategy. And plus with the mediums and the hard, this track is a punishing track on the tires. Speaking of energy, Dan, here he comes on the medium tires. So he wants to do the medium hard strategy. It does a 1:16.2. It goes into 11th place, so not where he wants to be right now. So I think that AlphaTauris could be on a little opposite strategy, I think. So I think that would be a good situation for their part. Excuse me. And he also said, for people wanting to stay off the hards but getting off track positions can do medium, soft. So that could be another option. And also with the soft tires that the people are on now, he said softs will only do about 4 to 6 laps on full fuel. So that's interesting to hear, Tim, because if you think about it, they'll go real quickly. Only like 6 minutes or 6 to 7 minutes of just soft running, and then you've just got to switch to the medium tires again, which is it's one of those you just don't want to have.
Yeah, that actually sounds like god-awful tire wear, so I am glad I'm in here commentating. Whoa, Racing Podge getting very loose through the chicane and going through the grass just a little bit as he's on his first time lap. It might be his only time lap too, but I am definitely glad that we're here in the booth commentating instead of actually having to deal with that tire wear. We just get to sit back, relax, and watch it.
You say that, then I'm racing tomorrow.
I didn't sign up on your behalf. I mean, you can always find a substitute, but I can't guarantee your points are going to be good after that.
You could say so. So here comes Racing Podge.
Crossing the line, and he goes P8, a 1:15.714 for the Ferrari driver. That is every driver with a time set with 4.5 minutes remaining in this session. So I expect a lot of drivers to start filing out. In fact, it looks like Sonicok was on a time lap and hits the barrier because he was trying to get into the pits and had a little bit too much of a head of steam. He'd already invalidated his lap.
Fanny Lion's about to start his run.
So on board with Fanny Lion as we head down into turn number 1. And turn number 1, much like the final corner on this circuit, is just one that I have a lot of trouble with. But one thing I am noticing is where we were talking about curbs, that none of the drivers that I've seen the onboard shot of so far use the inside curb at all here. And you know, to me, it's sort of instinct that you want to clip that curb, you want to clip that apex and use as much of the racetrack as possible, but it's actually more beneficial, I think, watching these guys to go a little bit wider because it's such a tight corner, but it's also a wide corner. So you can get a lot of momentum and a lot of speed heading down into turn number 2 if you don't clip the apex and just give yourself a little bit more room on the inside.
Yeah, I'll say so. With the curves around here, they also... It's very, the curves around here are very dangerous. They're like auto spin curves, but there are some curves around here that can really be beneficial. You saw where Funny Line went through turn in the final center, the right-hander. It's very beneficial. You touch that curve. You also got turn 4 as well, the fast left. That's beneficial. They've got the chicane as well. That's beneficial. So some curves are very beneficial, but some curves around here, it's a definite no-go. So yeah, you're right, Tim. Some curves are good, some curves are not.
And Fanning Line going P5, a 1:15.324, so not a bad lap at all. Saneth just behind him in 6th so far, a 1:15.466 for him. He's on his outlap. Rage Hunter on his outlap. Looks like Hyper Warskin's just starting a flying lap, so we'll take a look at him.
So let's have a look at Hyper Warskin, actually. Let's have a look. Yep, he started his run. You are right. So, going through turn 2, is he going to touch? Yeah, he's not touching the curves around in turn 2. No, not got good at all. Oh, got its wheels on the grass, though. That's going to lose a bit of tire grip through there. Oh, it's an invalidation lap. That is an invalidation lap. All 4 tires onto the curve. He's going to lift off now.
And that's why I hate that corner, is it's so hard to get right. You can use the curb. You can go over it. You can cut the corner just a little bit and be okay. But if you go too much, you're going to get a time penalty. And if you go too wide on the exit, which is very hard not to do, then you're also going to get a time penalty. It's a curve that I really don't even think should exist, but it does, and it kills me every single time.
It just annoys the hell out of you. That's the main thing. Turn 4 is a deadly, deadly corner. It's a not so pretty corner as well. It's a blind left, and you've got to really be aggressive over there. But then again, you don't want to go out wide too much, otherwise you're going to get either be a time penalty or an invalidation lap. It's that corner is one. It's got to really be careful for all drivers. So
riding on board now with Sonic Hawk, he took turn 4 very nicely.
The same thing.
Oh, poor Saneth. I mean, and that's a corner that's going to catch a lot of drivers out today.
Hooky is on a lap. He's of course running for pole.
Rage Hunter goes to pole, a 1:14.127.
Nearly a second faster than anyone else. Rage Hunter, that is incredible. Oh, and Hooky's invalidated. Hooky's invalidated after the fast test section. So Karen might be the only one to challenge Rage Hunter. But can he be nearly a full second faster than his previous?
Well, we're riding on board with Kara. We'll see what he can do. Into turn number 2, not using any curb there at all. Really, the only time drivers use the curb, or the first time they use the curb, rather, is through turn number 4, right here, this uphill blind left-hander. Good corner from Kara. being very careful, and clips the curb in turn 5 and loses so much time. I thought it was going to work for a minute, but did not. So I think that's a pole lap out. Gaming Things going to 114.7. So he's second now. Kara still in third.
Kara still third. Snellweg's invalidated. Sonic Hawk backs out. Sanas completed. Per Oliver's on a run. Where is Racing Podge? Racing Podge is on a lap somewhere. He's in the pits, so Racing Podge is done. Pro Oliver's not done. He's coming through the final 2 corners. Pro Oliver, can he put a run in? No, not enough.
P5, a 115.247 for Proliver.
Raychana gets pole again, wow.
Yes, he does, and only 2 drivers were able to make it into the 114 bracket today, that being Rage Hunter and Gamey Things. Nobody else was able to even get close. I mean, Kara 115.0, but there's still 400ths of a second there that he could have clawed his way, well, that I feel like maybe he could have clawed his way to find that 114 gap, but something happened on that last lap where he hit the curb in turn 5 and spun around, and that lap was done after that.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those. It's Rage Hunter on fire again. It's this guy, man. This guy just came to SFR only from Canada. Now he's showing his real true form. Rage Hunter again, pole position. That is incredible of a lap. Really, really impressive. Well done, Rage Hunter.
So I do believe that what you see is what you're going to get. We're just waiting for the time to run out.
That is GP3 times right there.
Is there a promotion for Rage Hunter in the near future?
Oh, very, 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 very big promotion. I'm sure Xander is watching this and he's been thinking, Rage Hunter. I think he'll be the next driver to drive in GP3 one day.
Well, he drove in GP3 last week, so he already has a little bit of experience, and he won Silverstone with us last week. So maybe he'll win the Hungarian
He won
tonight.
the race in Silverstone in GP3. He was so close. He was a winner's teammate to someone else, and he nearly won it.
So qualifying session is now officially over. Your official starting lineup for the Speed Force Racing League GP4 Series Hungarian Grand Prix. Rage Hunter on the pole, Gamey Things in second, Kara in third, Hookie in fourth, Proliver in fifth, Snellweg sixth, Fanny Lion seventh, Sonicawk in eighth, Saneth in ninth, 10th is Racing Bodge, 11th is Hyper Warskin, Energy Dan in 12th, Psychomich in 13th, Stupid Clavin in 14th, Shadow Lancer in 15th, Kiviat Torpedo in 16th, Gizlodian 17th, and Bannister rounding out the field in the 18th position. Looking at the lineup, Oliver, and Chad as well, going to turn to you. Let's hear your top 3 predictions.
Rage Hunter, Snellweg, and Energy Dan.
All right, I'm going Rage Hunter, Gamey Things, and Snellweg. Because Gamey Things, the only other driver to break into that 114-second bracket. I think that he's going to have a really good race here today. Definitely going to be contending for a podium starting from the P2 spot. And Snellweg, I like your pick there because he just seems to be a driver that always finds himself at the front or near the front almost every single time. And he is still our points leader and by 20 points now over Hookie.
Don't count out the AlphaTauris for no reason. I'll tell you that now. Don't count out the AlphaTauris for no reason. They'll be hovering around, but I'm not going to take anything away from Rage Hunter. Rage Hunter, I'll tell you now, he is on an absolute stormer. And I'll tell you now, he'll be my pick to win the race.
I think I'm going to agree with you on that one there, Oliver. As Rage Hunter, he's just got so much pace around here that it just seems like only a catastrophe is going to prevent him from standing on the top spot of the podium at the end of this thing. However, we'll see if any of the other drivers can take it to him. If they're anything like me, they're bad at qualifying, but when it comes to the race, they actually have just a little bit more pace.
I thought it was raining for a second when I saw the smoke. Whoopsie! I thought it was wet for a second. That was very lucky. All I saw was, I thought it was spray, but no, it's just smoke. False alarm, guys. False alarm.
So we got the tire graphic pulled up here, and of course, as expected, the top 10 are all on soft tires, so that's of course to be expected. But then you get back to 11th through 18th, and you got a few of them on the hard compound tires.
2 on the hards. Psychomage and Bannister. That'll be very interesting to see how that all plays out.
That it will, because I want to see if the hards can actually work around here. And the way I see it, you know, Psychomage is starting in 13th, Bannister is starting in 17th. These guys have nothing to lose at this point. They might as well try that strategy because they can only go up.
Hard. They could do medium hard if they have to.
Yeah, that they could, and I think we're going to see a lot of medium hard strategies back there in the back. So I'm almost wondering if the top 10 are going to have to go on hards if they want to do a one-stop, because you were saying that the softs wear out so quickly around here, and I don't see a medium compound tire lasting about 25 or 30 laps. So I'd say that the hards are going to be their best bet for a one-stopper, but do you expect to see a lot of one-stoppers or two-stoppers? Think we might have lost Oliver again, so we'll see if we can get him back soon. Not sure what's going on. This is actually the first time we've had these kind of problems, but unfortunate. But hopefully Oliver will come back here momentarily. Until then, the drivers just finding their place on the grid, driving down the front stretch here. You see Rage Hunter, Gaming Things, Kara, Hooky, Proliver, your top 5. Snellweg, Fanny Lion, Sonic Hawk, Sanith, Racing Podge, rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, pretty much so. So let's see how Rage Hunter will get off the line. Let's see how you actually get off the line. Let's see if he can get a good purchase of the tyres. But I want to see how Psychomage and Bannister really do.
Well, here we go, and here the drivers are ready, and you hear those engines revving, you hear those itchy pedal feet, the drivers watching the lights and ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Speed Force Racing League GP4 Series at the Hungaroring. Rage Hunter leading him down into turn number 1, closely followed by the Red Bull of Gaming Things and 2 McLarens behind them with the Williams of Sanith, I do believe, splitting them. No, that is not. That's actually the AlphaTauri of Hooky back there, splitting the 2 McLarens. Rage Hunter out to a nice early lead, already about 5 car lengths over Gaming Things. The McLaren of Kara ahead of his teammate of Snellweg, and Hooky has crashed. Hooky has crashed in turn number 2.
No. The luck of Hooky is just gone from sour to worse once again.
Kvyat Torpedo, unfortunately, involved in that as well. Of course, him getting his first podium just a few weeks ago in France. Probably not going to be able to have a podium here today. Hooky as well, out of contention for a podium more than likely, but it's still an early race. He might be able to recover. Going to rejoin the battle for the lead because Gaming Things only 0.6 of a second behind Rage Hunter at the time being.
But I'd say now, Hooky will now have to think on his toes about on the strategy wise, and now it's interesting to see how that all plays out. Energy Dan from what looks to be lower than grid is now up to P6. Really good start from Energy Dan. And the McLarens as well, 3rd and 4th. Car and Snellweg, really good starts for them. So right now, the biggest winners, in my opinion, are the McLarens and Energy Dan. And also, actually, another big winner is Psychomage on the hards. You did mention, Tim, about him starting, what is it, 12th, 13th it was? He's now up to, 9th place now on the hards. He's pretty much set up for what looks to be a really good.
Yeah, if Psychomage can maintain that pace until the leaders make pit stops, and he'll really be in a good position, especially if we get no safety cars, because Psychomage and Bannister are going to be the only drivers who can stay out the longest with those hard tires, so that will really give them a nice edge over the field. So I would imagine they're going to go for a one-stop strategy. We'll wait and see how that plays out. Of course, Snellweg just trying to bide his time and be consistent, running in P4 behind his teammate.
Slithering around Sonic Hawk's rear end right now.
Yeah, he is really trying to get close to him there. Energy Dan, of course, running P6. And like you said, Oliver, a good recovery for Energy Dan from what was a not-so-stellar qualifying session.
Oh, definitely. So, I think Energy Dan was really, let's just say, really, what do you say, was really predicting that he was going to do that sort of, was going to have a real poor qualifying. But then again, he's got the medium tyres, so really he's going to be set up for what's to be a conservative strategy. DRS enabled, so right now, Dan is looking right now to get past Sonic Hawk, and then he's going to have a good attack on his championship rival, which is Snellweg. So if he gets Sonic Hawk, he's going to have a good chance to take on his championship rival.
Well, Energy Dan is 25 points behind Snellweg. Not out of the championship, but definitely a big gap. That's almost a full race gap. And wow, look at that. Racing Podge was that? No, that was Sonic Hawk going very wide. Racing Podge is just behind him.
Sooner than I expected. That was way sooner than expected. Jeez.
Yeah, so Sonic Hawk definitely making sure that we've ate our Wheaties up here in the booth today.
Yeah, in my opinion, Sonic Hawk went a bit too hot into turn 4, and that just provided a massive open door for Energy Dan just to go through. A tighter line there for Dan going through the final part of the S's, and now look at him actually harassing Snellweg's McLaren. He's in real trouble.
So Energy Dan knowing that that's his championship title leader and contender, because Energy Dan only in P3 right now in the championship standings, trying to get ahead of Snellweg. And wow, he's using every bit of racetrack to do it, going down to turn number 1. Move Dan up into 4th, but yep, too deep. That's going to lose him 1 position, maybe 2.
This is what I was talking about, the overtake mode. Now he's going around the outside of Snellweg, side by side, going through turn 3, turn 2, 1, down the inside into turn 3. You're on the inside line. And now Snellweg just going to have a look down the inside once again. No, turn 4, you can't overtake there. This is what I was on about. He went a bit wide. I think that would be a warning for Dan. But yeah, Tim, I was mentioning this before, that that the overtake mode is powerful around here. And if you get a good exit, out turn why was the Snellweg in the chicane?
I did not see it, but wow. And now Racing Pod's going around Sonic Hawk, so a lot of drivers having trouble through the chicane section there. Riding with Racing Podge, watching him as he tries to close the gap on Snellweg, but I think he has recovered, so the McLaren pulling away from Racing Podge for the time being. Energy Dan still out ahead of Snellweg by 1.7 seconds. The whole field, though, still chasing Rage Hunter.
Yeah, Snellweg's going into the pits, actually, so he's coming in for a very early stop, so he's had enough of the tyres. I think it's the tyres that's had enough on him. Let's have a look at another close fight, Tim. Let's have a look at Prolover and Psychomensch. There's the next lot to go through.
On board now with Proliver as they head down to turn number 1. Let's see how he attacks this corner to try to get around Psychomensch if he can. Psychomensch using a little bit of curve there. He's actually the first driver that I've seen do that, and not even Proliver used curve that time around. So going into turn number 2, no curve for either driver. Psychomensch, of course, on the hard tires, so he is lacking a little bit on pace compared to Proliver, who's on the softs, but it's probably about this time that the softs are going to start to be slowing down after having about 4 laps on them.
It's going towards that peak period. I think Proliver's going to have a real bad time with the soft tires. He's going to be having a good another lap or so before they're going to start to really scream out in pain. It's going to be really interesting to see. We've got a train of cars actually behind what looks to be just loading. It's got like a few cars. Hang on, what happened to, who's that stopped? Who's stopped in the track? Is that Hyperwarskin? It is. Hyperwarskin's gone into the barriers after turn 3. Is there damage to the car? There's not. So he's come back onto the track now. He's gone off at turn 3, so something must have happened there, because that's not often you go there.
Unfortunate for Hyperwarskin there. Would love to have known what happened, but maybe he just spun out on his own. But now I'm watching that train of cars that you mentioned just about a lap ago on board with Bannister, who's almost at the tail end of this train of cars. He's got Fanny Lion just behind him. Hookie trying to recover, already recovering up to P11, so good job on Hookie there after a spin early on in turn number 2. So he's just now breathing down the neck of Shadow Lancer, and that Williams as they go around turn number 2, trying to get around him. But Hookie is not pitted yet, so he still has the tires that he started on. He's going to have to think about pitting here sooner rather than later. I don't think he's going to have enough pace to get by Shadow Lancer without it. So he's going to have to pretty much surrender the 11th position for better tires. However, he can close the gap on him, that's for sure.
Speaking of better tires, Sykovich really holding on to that 7th place on those hard tires, so he's doing what he needs to do. Sakara in the Hyperwarskin has retired what looks to be on the pit entry. Hang on, what other now? I saw a car on the grass. I thought it was someone. It was Hookie that had his tires on the grass. Almost spun, but he recovered well. So Hyperwarskin is retired on the pit entry. Did he crash into the barriers on purpose? I don't know.
So it looks like Hookie now diving down into the pits to get a new set of tires, and Fanny Lion actually following him through. So Hookie, Fanny Lion both going to pit now.
Raychan has got a 4.8 second lead over second place in gaming things. So right now, it's all looking good for Raychan. Energy Dan is now closing in on Kara now, which is very interesting to see, and also gaming things. Now, recently, Tim, this is something I wanted you to know. Dan has been, in the past couple of weeks with gaming things, has never had the best times of him for the past couple of weeks. So, be interested to see how that will turn out.
Yeah, so Gamey thinks 4.8 seconds behind, but Kara looks like he's starting to actually gain on him here. And Energy Dan just behind Kara as well, so we'll take a look at this battle here. Of course, pit stops are about to ruin it, honestly.
Yeah, true. So Raychan will be feeling the pain of the tyres. If Raychan is in, Raychan is in the pit. What's Gamefeed's going to do? He's coming in. Kara is staying out on the 6-lap tyres, so he's going to go over the limit of the suggested tyre range, Tim.
And so is Energy Dan as well, going to follow Kara around this racetrack. However, Energy Dan does have the medium tires.
The mediums, you're exactly right. So Energy Dan will go down the inside into turn 1. Easy pickings for Energy Dan, like a hot knife through hot butter. It's pretty easy for a move to go down there. Hard tyres for Raychana, and so that's a pretty sensible move. I think there's a hard tyre option for Gamey Fins as well. Yep, they're all good on the hard tyres.
Now, I'm not convinced that this was a bad decision on Kara's part just yet. He is losing time to Energy Dan, so that is actually unfortunate, but I'm not convinced that this is going to be a terrible decision so long as he actually pits this lap. We'll see if the overcut can work for him. However, nonetheless, it is going to be a big deficit from him to Rage Hunter, who is gaining on him now with fresh hard tires, as you said.
Rage Hunter, very vital for him. He got ahead. He was behind Gislodian. Then he got past Gislodian. He actually was in behind that train. And I'll tell you now, that was super vital that he actually got ahead of Gislodian, because that train behind him were really holding up really super badly. So well done to Ray Chandler to get ahead of that train really well. Now we've got Sykomich in the pits now, so Energy Dan will take the lead. Sykomich will now go into 3rd place, and Super Clavin into second place. So that is where the tires are starting on the mediums, and the hard will now start to take effect.
So Kara's out of his box and about to rejoin this race. He will rejoin in what looks to be P12 perhaps, P11 right now. He will rejoin in P11, so Kara losing a bit of time there, but we'll see once everyone in front of him makes their pit stops where he ends up on the track. But I think he actually might have lost a lot more time than I was anticipating with him trying the overcut. Yeah,
definitely. So Energy Dan leads. Energy Dan is now leading, which is fair play on his part. So we're going to see what's next. Snellweg is behind Bannister. Actually, Snellweg's in the train of Bannister's car, which is super interesting. So Snellweg is getting held up in this train. So right now, Snellweg's in trouble slightly because he's stuck in this train.
Yeah, and he is really struggling to get by Bannister, and I'm actually surprised at that because Snellweg's on newer medium tires. There you see he finally went around him, but Snellweg on newer medium tires with Bannister on 8-lap old hards. I would assume that Snellwood could have went straight by him, but apparently that was not the case. Bannister now having a mirror full of gaming things in that Red Bull.
Getting past his teammate of Psychomich, so that is a team move from Haas, and that is third place for Rachel. And Psychomich playing the long game. And I think that's sensible, Tim. Even though you don't like, I know you're not a fan of team orders, but that's a sensible move, because if you think about it, Psychomich is playing the long game, Ray Chana is on the fresher tyres. Them two are on a real good, possibly on a possible podium finish. That's a good, sensible move from Haas.
That they are, and honestly, team orders in that particular scenario, I'm sort of okay with, because it's still early on in the race, so there's no reason to really race each other. So I can kind of see where team orders are going to come into play there and how it's okay. However, if at the end of this race there were to be team orders to where a team wanted to switch, that's when I would have a problem with it, because I see that as manipulating the race results when it should have been the other way around. You know, we've seen it in real life F1 a lot with, I do believe, Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello, and let's not forget the infamous Valtteri, it's James. So,
yeah, well, let's not go into that conversation.
So Rage Hunter setting the fastest lap.
Flying.
Now, I don't know if you noticed, but about 2 laps ago, while we were talking about Kara coming out of the pits, Rage Hunter actually picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
I did notice that, so that's very interesting. Snellweg is still held up by Shalalancer and Gislodian. He's really, really struggling. Is Snellweg? He's not making the progress he needs.
And you know that he has got to be fuming inside of that race car. Snellweg just trying everything he can.
Look at Rachel. He's already caught up to stupid Clavin already. Wow.
Rage Hunter definitely not messing around, going through the chicane and trying to avoid the ghosted car of Kvyat Torpedo there. So Stupid Clavin in second for the time being. Rage Hunter just doing everything to try to keep the pace.
So Rage Hunter is on his... Rage Hunter is just harassing Stupid Clavin. Unbelievable. But the problem is now for Rage Hunter that Stupid Clavin's got to get the DRS because of Fletcher's car being in front of him. He is ghosted, but he'll still get DRS because he's under a second of the car in front of him.
Now, Rage Hunter will have the DRS on Stupid Clavin as well, so they're both going to just have DRS going down the front straightaway, so it's not going to be totally detrimental for Rage Hunter. However, I think that it's going to be A-okay because Rage Hunter has been so fast here today. And look at that, really closing that gap into turn number 1. He'll have the DRS here, heading down through turn number 2. Not going to be able to do a whole lot with it, but a very little bit might just give him a nice little edge. And he was able to close the gap just a little bit more that time around. So now let's see how they're going to attack this uphill left-hander, this blind corner of turn number 4. Both of them attacking it A-okay. Rage Hunter almost going too wide, but hanging on to it. Got to be careful here not to touch that curve. As Oliver said, it is an auto spin curve, and we've seen it happen already today. Attacking the chicane very well, but I think at this point, Rage Hunter is just kind of...
Snellweg has now gone past Snellweg. Snellweg has gone past his loading in Shadowland, so now he's in clean air now.
And that is very important for Snellweg because he's fighting for what is essentially, I think, virtually a second place at the moment.
Snellweg, Rage Hunter look down the inside into the second to the last corner. Very, very odd move to go there, he's going for it down the last corner. That's not often to have a car through there. He's trying for it. He's going for it. And now he's got the grip and the traction. Now he's got Stupid Clavin. Now he's into second place.
So Rage Hunter moving into P2. Energy Dan still leading, but he has yet to pit. He's got a 10-second gap over Rage Hunter, but that is slowly decreasing. So any hope of Energy Dan having a free pit stop is out the window because you need to have about a 20-second gap to have a free pit stop. Maybe a little bit more to give yourself a nice little breathing room, but Energy Dan definitely not going to have one of those today. He's just going to have to deal with what he gets. However, when does the lifespan on those medium tires run out?
Oh my goodness me! Sonic on messy exit. Going out turn 3. Just saved the car. Only just great save from Sonicorp, but he lost the place to gaming things.
I would have loved to have seen that. Was that out of turn number 4, you said?
It was out turn number 3.
Oh, okay.
So Game of Things is behind Shadowlancer now, and Game of Things has stopped, and he was the guy who started second, and he's getting held up behind Gislodian and Shadowlancer now. We're really interested to see how these two will actually play out.
Yeah, and really, we only have about 3 drivers in the top 10 who have yet to pit, so Gaming Thing's definitely a big loser from the start of the race. And Kara, I just want to point out, by staying out that extra lap, Kara has actually lost a significant amount of time, more than I anticipated. He is in P10 right now. Once these 3 drivers pit, or it looks like it's actually 4 drivers, he will only be able to gain up to about 6th place, where he was running in 3rd. So unfortunate for Kara that overcut just did not work at all. But I feel like it was in a position to where it's justifiable for him to have tried it, because I don't think he was going to be able to make up the time and pass the drivers ahead of him without it.
Gaming Things really harassing Shadowlancer's car, but knowing Hungary, we all know this is a very, very difficult circuit to overtake. Right now, updates here now go through the top 4. Psychoman.
And it's Racing Podge, who has spun in the chicane section. The Ferrari of Racing Podge in the grass, trying to rejoin this race now.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him. Very, very unfortunate. But as I was saying before, Racing Podge had his very bad spin. Psychomich doing strong at the moment in P4. Really, really doing well. He started on the hard tyres, and it's really paying off for him right now. So it's all good on his part at the moment. Fletcher has just retired into the pit, so that's real unfortunate for Fletcher there. But here comes Sonic Hawk. Gaming thinks it's defending. Sonic Hawk round the outside in turn 1. Can he get the move done? Gaming thinks holds him off really, really well.
So into turn number 2 now, Sonic Hawk gonna maybe try on Gaming Things once more, once he gets an opportunity. Maybe, just maybe, after they get out of this uphill left-hander, he might have a shot if he's close enough, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. Both of them attacking it somewhat cautiously. Shadowlancer picking up a 3-second time
penalty. In turn 4, yeah, he caught up in turn 4, went too wide on the exit. Sonic Hawk struggling for grip. He's been oversteering a lot in that Ferrari. Oh, he's now spun again! Sonic Hawk!
And that was the same section that Racing Podge spun in, except Sonic Hawk made it just a little bit further ahead on track before he completely lost it.
The setup is not working well today.
No, it's definitely not. And I'd almost say that you're right, that they might have the same setup in those cars.
Dan's in.
So that gives Rach under the lead. Dan has chose the hard tires, so medium hards for Dan here. Stupid Clavin.
But if I was Psychomich, if you think about it, you can now go onto the medium tyres now, and he'll have the perfect advantage over the guys that's going to be on those hard tyres. So for Psychomich, it's still in a very strong position, even if he does pit.
Yeah, but I think that Psychomich, if the tire wear is there, it would benefit him to stay out just a little bit longer, because that's going to be 20 laps on those medium tires when it's all said and done. And yeah, I just feel like that's a little bit that's a big ask from those medium tires. I think that it could happen, but the question is, would you end up in the grass like Sonic Hawk and Racing Podge?
So that means I'm going to keep it on Stupid Clavin then, because he's on the same tires he started on. Let's see how far he goes. This is pretty much good data for the drivers on those medium tires, and Shadowlands as well. Let's see how far these drivers will go through on those medium tires, because they're the ones that these are the only 2 drivers that started the tires that they started on.
Well, Stupid Clavin's going into pits right now.
So is this the limit for the mediums? 15 laps?
We'll see what Shadowlancer thinks. I think, yeah, he's going to go out for at least one more lap. So I guess 16 laps at least are going to be the limit for the medium tires, but it also depends on how you've managed your tires throughout the course of the race. So, you know, let's not forget that. That's also very important.
Yeah, definitely. And Hooky is now going to P8, and Energy Dan still holding on. Is actually, can you realise, Tim, it's now a Haas 1-2 again for the second time in, what's it, in 2 weeks? So, really decent for their part.
Yeah, Raychenner, of course, 12 seconds over his teammate of Psychomich, who has yet to pit. But, as you said, with Psychomich starting on the hard tires, he's had a good recovery all race. He might just be in line for a podium if he's able to play his cards right, and if the tire wear works in his favor. I'd say that if he can stay out for another 3 or 4 laps.
Dan and Snellweg really harassing Psychomich. These are the 2 guys I predicted to be on the podium.
Yeah, and there goes Snellweg. Trying to go around Energy Dan, but has to back out of it. Probably a good move there. Dan giving Snellweg plenty of room through that corner. So Snellweg going to have to... Dan was late
on the brakes around that right-hander as well.
Oh, yeah, he was outbraking Snellweg big time to try to keep his position, and now he's trying to attack Psychomich. We'll take a look on Dan's onboard as they go down the front straightaway. He might be able to get him here this time. He's going underneath him into turn number 1. I think Energy Dan has got him. Yes, he has, and cleared him. So move Energy Dan up into P2, but Psychomich going to try to battle back. Not sure if he's going to be able to do anything with it. He's looking on the outside of turn number 2, trying to get some momentum there, but he does back off and let Energy Dan overdrive the corner just a tad. But because of those old hard tires, Psychomich is struggling for grip, and I think now might be the time that he needs to pit. It's a little early than what I would have preferred if I was in his...
17 laps that Shell Alonso has done on the medium, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, and, you know, if I was Psychomich, this is a little bit earlier than what I would want to pit, but after Energy Dan getting by me, I think that I have no choice but to pit for the medium tires and try to go out on fresh sets to make up whatever time I may have lost, because Snellweg, I think, is going to have to pit again. Energy Dan, he's good till the end.
He's set.
Yes, but Psychomich, obviously, he has to pit, and it will probably be this lap or the next lap, so I think the best chance for him is medium tires and then just run some good qualifying laps to try to claw your way back to a podium. But Psychomich is actually going to stay out at least one more lap, so apparently he knows something that we don't about those tires.
So now Psychomich is in trouble with Snellweg. See how Snellweg will deal with Psychomich. Down the inside, down to turn 1. Easy peasy moves for Snellweg. Psychomich undercuts back on the inside. Now he's got the drive in turn 2, but Snellweg, what drive! Oh, it's so close to touching. But fair play to Psychomich. Move out of the way. Snellweg P3.
I actually think there was just a very little bit of contact between the 2 drivers there entering turn 2, and that's what put Psychomich to the outside lane a little bit more than what he would like to, but that could have been so much worse. So fair play to both drivers for hanging on and keeping their cool there.
Yeah, definitely, very much so. So Prolova and Cara are close together at the moment.
So Cara just trying to rebound from a bad pit stop where he stayed out one lap too long.
So far, I say, Tim, but I do feel like there's going to be a very big climax. I really do think so.
Well, it's lap 20 of 35, so once they get back around, we're going to have 15 laps to go. So I'd say there's still plenty of time for catastrophe or safety cars or craziness, whatever may be in store for us, to happen. However, I'm not sure any of the drivers like what they're hearing from you, Oliver.
Oh, definitely. Here comes Hookie's in the pits after 11 laps on the mediums, so that's interesting to see from Hookie's part. Just Sanaf is in after 12 laps as well on the medium tyres, so very interesting on their part on strategy. Mercedes are running 7 and 8th, as Oliver Prolova and Stupid Clavin. The top guys are separating themselves very comfortably. Prolova is still harassing Cara. Sonic Hawk under his spin is harassing Stupid Clavin. So right now, the drivers, the two fair play to them, they're really playing, they're really professional in their racing. It's really good to see.
Yeah, it is good to see, and it's pretty close between the teammates of Mercedes and Stupid Clavin. And of course, I've been watching this battle between Proliver and Cara here, because Proliver's really trying to gain on Cara here, and he has been just little by little each lap as it goes by. Cara's definitely struggling around this circuit after the bad pit stop. I think it's almost like he lost his confidence.
Yeah, definitely. And he's starting to rebuild that confidence. Snellweg is in the pits, Tim, like you called. So that means he'll go down position. So like you called, Sneb will have to stop, and he has. The Sykovic back into third.
So maybe Sykovic knows what he's doing by staying out on those hard tires a little bit longer, because I really anticipated that he'd lose too much time, but maybe he's going to be okay. However, he is going to have to worry about gaming things.
I bet he was anticipating Snellweg stopping.
I think you're right there. However, he is going to have to worry about gaming things and Kara, who are really close to him as far as time-wise. Kara's 6 seconds behind Gaming Things. Gaming Things is 2 seconds behind Sykovic. So that does not equal a free pit stop. So and I think that Gaming Things and Kara both can go to the end of this race. So
can we just say here that Ray Chun is now like 15.5 seconds ahead of the slot?
Yeah, he is pulling away from Energy Dance still, and that's with the old hard tires.
Ray Chun is just controlling this field like this, like a bunch of amateurs right now. It's really, really good to see that Ray Chun is just dominating this race. It's just so controlled. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's got the pace underneath him. He's got the car that he has. The setup he has is good, and he's just dominating. This is going to be in my mind, 2 wins in a row coming up. Sykovic is finally in the stops.
So let's see what tires Sykovic picks. It almost has to be the medium tires. There's no way softs are going to last him to the end. So we'll see what happens when he pulls into his box. They do have the medium tires ready, but where is Sykovic going to rejoin this race? He's dropping back significantly. P10 already as he gets out of his box. When he gets off of pit lane, where is he going to be? Hookie's behind him, 16, 14 seconds behind him. But Sykovic is going to rejoin this race in P10, so that is still a points-paying position for him.
Oh, definitely. So I wouldn't panic too much. I would say that that he'll definitely goes back on the time, but then again, you look at the car train that he's got to pass in front of him. It's going to be super challenging for him, but I think he'll try and take it off one car at a time, and I think he'll still do well. But it depends when these drivers are going to find their limit on the hard tires, because I don't think those hard tires will go to the end, and I think those hards will go another possible. Oh, Paul look down the inside of the car, but not. He backs out of it just about. But then again, I think that they'll go another. What is it? 6, 7 laps, and I think they'll stop. Side by side between Racing Pod and Snellweg. Very close.
And he's going to try it again going into turn number 1. Look at that. Snellweg on the inside of Racing Podge. Is he going to be able to do anything with it? He does. Racing Podge on that outside line going very wide and too wide, in fact. Snellweg move him up into P8. He's chasing down Stupid Clavin in the Mercedes now. So it's a McLaren versus Mercedes battle.
Oh, the times. Oh, McLaren Mercedes. Oh, just remember those days. Racing Pod cuts turn 4. literally just cuts it. Like there's nothing out of it. So yeah, just remind ourselves, Tim, that McLaren Mercedes will be reforming themselves again. Ah, the days.
Of course. And look at that, Snellweg, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
That would be very interesting to see. That's how that all plays out to the end of the race. Sykovic gets a 3-second penalty. So this is going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Snellweg go down the inside. Oh, and they touch. Snellweg and Stephen Clevin touch. But there's no contact, no damage done. No damage on that McLaren whatsoever. It's all fine. It's like hardcore racing. It's just a bump. That's all it is. You can keep going, guys. Snellweg. Oh! Snell, was that a late move there for Stupid Clavin, I wonder?
I think it was in Stupid Clavin trying to do the crossover move on Snellweg, but not able to make it stick. So Snellweg moving up into P7, chasing down Proliver now, and Stupid Clavin really drove it in deep into turn number 2, trying to get everything out of it that he could, but it was all for naught.
Look at Sykovic literally harassing Hookie. He's literally harassing that Alpha Hookie. I was expecting Hookie to be struggling at this stage of the race. Hookie's in trouble from Sykovic, Tim.
Yeah, Hookie looks like he pitted a few laps ago. He's got 3 laps on those tires, where Saikamic only has the 1 lap on the medium tires. However, Saikamic must have lost a spot to Hookie originally, because he's now in P11. I guess that 3-second time penalty really kind of did him in and gave Hookie a nice advantage to get underneath him. Not sure exactly when the move was made, but Hookie is now pulling away from the Haas of Saikamic. So you got to know that that's got to break his heart. He was running in P2, P3 a lot today, looking like he might be able to get a podium with the right pit strategy. And he chose the right pit strategy. However, it's looking like it's going to be all for naught, because he just cannot seem to get the pace on those medium tires, and he needs to pass the drivers in front of him.
Very interesting to hear this. So, and stupid Clavin again literally makes a late move on Racing Pod. He was literally squeezing him onto that right-hand, very, very right-hand side. A bit like Michael Schumacher, Rubens Barrichello in 2010. That was really close for Racing Pod for going onto the grass. Very, very controversial driving up the stupid Clavin there. Be very careful.
Well, I think Stupid Clavin was the big loser out of that, though, because as I switched over to look at him, he was off the track. So Racing Podge in P8 now, splitting the Mercedes for their 7th and 9th running positions at the moment. The McLaren of Snellweg, of course, still pulling away from these 2 drivers, trying to catch Sonikok in that Ferrari for P5, and he might just be able to do it, while his teammate of Kara has made a decent recovery all the way up into P4 now. And it is Energy Dan and Gamey Things running 2nd and 3rd. Everybody's still chasing Rage Hunter, though. And whoa, Kara and Snellweg. Snellweg especially gets very loose.
Not like him to do that at all, Tim. So right now, Snellweg is struggling behind this train. Sonic looking down the outside. Here comes Snellweg. Here comes Sonic. Look at this. Snellweg down the outside to turn 2. This will be very, very good from him. And he's trying his best. Snellweg got around the outside into turn 3. Absolutely lovely move from Snellweg.
So Snellweg moving up into P5 and chasing down his teammate now. Might get P4 here soon. Snellweg, a man on a mission to capitalize his points total for this race. He is already 20 points ahead of Hookie, and as it stands now, Hookie's only going to score 1 point in this race, and that's assuming he can hang on to the 10th position there. So Snellweg might just have a decent points lead at the end of this thing. We'll see just what happens. Lap 27 of 35, not long left, and you're seeing 2 teammates battle it out for the 4th position, because the podium runners are so far ahead that there is no chance for any of these drivers.
Now this is interesting. Are they going to play team orders, or are they going to fight? Now we do see these 2 McLaren drivers do fight against each other, but are they going to fight this race?
Snellweg going to look around the outside of Kara, but not able to do anything with it. Maybe doing a crossover move here. Going to ride on board with him, and he tried a crossover move, but not able to make it stick. However, he does have some momentum and a good speed, and there's contact between teammates! Contact, and Snellweg gets ahead of Kara!
No damage on Snellweg's car, but that was really close.
Definitely no team orders there at McLaren. We can say that for a fact now. There would not be team orders to make contact, so it's a good thing for them that it actually ended the way it did, because that could have been so much worse.
Isn't it just? Wow.
So Kara in P5, Snellweg now in the 4th position.
Raychan is in after 19 laps on the hards. So Raychan is in. The leader's in.
And what do you do here? He is going for the soft tires.
Oh, lovely move from Raychan. This guy will be on a rampage. Energy Dan will be in serious trouble now, because Raychan is on the softs, Dan's on the hards, and you know what that's going to do.
Energy Dan's going to have to run some good qualifying laps to stay in front of Rage Hunter, and I think it is a possibility, because you don't have long on these soft tires, as you've said, Oliver. before they start to wear down. So it is a matter of time before Rage Hunter starts to lose pace. He's got fresh tires now. He's going to have to make the most of it.
He's on lighter fuel. He's on lighter fuel as well, Tim. He's on lighter fuel. So now the punishment on the tires will be a little bit lighter. So Rage Hunter is set to go full distance now.
He's going to have to get by Energy Dan if he wants to stand on that top spot of the podium. He has closed the gap significantly, 1.5 seconds now separating them. It was 3.5 when he exited the pits, and it's not even been a full lap yet. He is going to be in DRS range when they get to the front straightaway. I'm honestly surprised that he was able to close the gap as quickly as he was. Rage Hunter definitely a man on a mission now, and they're rounding the final corner. Going to go down the front straightaway, and there will be some DRS for Rage Hunter here. The question is, will he be able to complete the pass? Because Energy Dan got a good exit out of that final corner, and I don't think that there's going to be enough for Rage Hunter to make a pass. No, there will not. Going through turn number 1, though, he's looking on the inside of Energy Dan, and that grip, you can just see how much grip he had compared to Energy Dan. He's getting underneath him and now going around him.
Easy.
And clears Energy Dan.
Too easy. Too easy for Rage Hunter. Too easy.
So now he can actually back off a little bit and kind of conserve his tires to make sure he has enough for the end. However, it looks like he might be going for the fastest lap if he doesn't already have it. So that would be a good point stay for him if he can win and get the fastest lap. That's 26 points, I do believe, that he'll be scored. And does he get an extra point for the pole as well?
Yeah, he'll get an extra point for the fastest lap. Pretty much so. So Stupid Clavin, final with Hooky, Stupid Clavin's gone from from P6 down to P10. Sonic Hawk and Racing Podge, they're having a little scrub with each other. Again, the drivers are playing really safe. There was a couple of bumps and barges, but very safe racing. And no safety car, Tim. There's been no safety car so far, and there's no surprise in that. What a surprise. Rage Hunter fastest lap. What a surprise, Tim. What a surprise.
Exactly. Now, you got to remember, and he's in the good now, but Rage Hunter does have a 3-second time penalty, so he's going to have to stay at least 3 seconds ahead of Energy Dan.
Which he's doing.
Yeah, he's already got that gap up to 3.5 seconds ahead of Energy Dan, so he should be fine on that as long as he does not make a mistake. It's lap 30 of 35, just 6 laps to go here in the Speed Force Racing League GP4 series for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
So Hookie's going past Sonic Court now. So Hookie's gone into 8th. Psychomate hasn't really closed into the gap as I thought he would.
Looks like Racing Podge getting close to Proliver here for P6.
Ferrari having a really good solid race at the moment, rocking out 7 and 9. They're having a really good race so far. Rage Hunter, Dan and Gaming Things in 2nd and 3rd, which is good to see. Snell with 4.4 behind. It's going to be close, but this train behind Car is absolutely unbelievable.
And a big lock up there from Proliver going into that corner as he's trying to chase down Carr. That's going to allow Racing Podge to close in just a little bit more on him. And Hooky in P8 just behind Racing Podge, so he has got a chance at maybe a top 5.
He does indeed. Here comes Hooky now. Oh! Looking on, very messy from Hooky. Oh, he messed the exit up.
Racing Pod's going wide through turn number 2, trying to give Hooky enough room down there. Hooky, though, in P8, going to try to get a good exit, and there he goes.
He had the drive. He had the drive before turn 4, and that'll be easy peasy for Hooky. He had the drive on Racing Podge, and he'll take that with maximum ease.
So Hooky now has his sights set on the Mercedes of Proliver up there, who is trying to chase down Kara and has been for the past few laps now. So Kara and Proliver have had a really good race here today, but they also have a lot of laps on those hard tires, so I suspect that Hookie's going to make quick work of them if he can get there. Lap 32 of 35 now. Rage Hunter still leads by 8.2 seconds over Energy Dan. Gamey Things in third. Snellweg, your points leader, in fourth. Kara in fifth. Proliver sixth. Hookie in seventh. Racing Podge in eighth. Sonicock ninth. And Stupid Clavin rounding out the top 10.
Snellweg has caught up to Gamey Things right now, so that'll be very interesting to see. And also, Proliver and Kara still close to each other, but Proliver just can't seem to get past Kara. If I was Proliver, save your airs, and then you can attack. Save your airs for a good, I don't know, 2 to 3 laps. Around the last lap, then you can probably attack him. But let's go to what's Hookie doing? What's Hookie up to? Is he gone past Racing Podge? No, he's close to Proliver. So right now, Hookie could take down Proliver and Car. Hookie can get 5th place, you know. That'll be an amazing result for Hookie after what seems to be a quiet race today.
However, he did pick up a 3-second time penalty on the exit of turn 4 there, so he's going to have to worry about that now as well.
Yeah, definitely. Here goes Snellweg on Gaming Things. Snellweg could get a podium, and he can make my predictions, well, all but perfect. Oh, and Snellweg's looking for it. Here he comes down the outside, going into turn 1. Out he comes. Oh, there's contact! Gamey Things, Gamey Things. Oh, Gamey Things, man. Leave the room. That's naughty from Gamey Things. Leave the room. Go to the inside. You can't do that.
I think Gamey Things...
Very naughty.
Yeah, I think he has a different opinion than you, Oliver. He apparently feels like he can do that. It made for some good racing there in turn number 1. I'll give him that much. And so far, he's holding the position, but I don't think that Snellweg is going to take...
Oh, Snellweg's going to be furious. He's going to be absolutely furious because if I was me as a racing driver, yes, you want to defend your 3rd place position. Yes, you're on the podium, but you need to give the guy behind you all the room that he needs. He was on the racing line. Gamey should defend that inside line and try and defend the corner as much as you can. You can't just go across along the driver's line. You can't do that.
Yeah, so Snellweg definitely going to be not too happy if he's able to get to Gamey Things. Let's see if he's able to close in on him.
I'm really keeping on Gamey Things' movement.
So Snellweg going on the inside of Gamey Things this time. And Gamey Things does leave the room.
He does. It's a bit more better this time. A bit more better for Gamey Things. But yeah, I'm still not a bit best pleased there for what Gamey Things was doing there. Hookie, he got past Proliver. Now he's taking on Kara. And it's like, oh no! Oh no, Hookie! Not again! And he's retired. Hookie's had enough. The championship is going into tatters. He's retired on track on the racing line. Oh man, that could have been so awful to the next car, collecting Hookie's car. Oh my goodness me, Tim. Hookie's championship's going into to tatters.
Yeah, and that was unfortunate for Hookie there. I did not see what happened. I switched over to him. It looked like he was stopped in the grass, and then that's when he decided he had enough. So, unfortunate for Hookie, but these things, I guess, happen sometimes. Can you maybe fill us in on what happened there, Oliver?
Yeah, he was attacking Kara, then he lost the rear end on the exit of turn 1. He lost the rear end, he got into the wall, he got really furious in himself and really pretty much retired the car on the track. And I can understand his frustration, but you can't retire your car on the track. You need to retire your car in the pits where it's safe for others, because he was almost on the racing line from the others to almost hitting his rear end. So but look, Cookie, I really do hope to see you in the car again. I really do. We'll see you in the car for Belgium.
So final lap now, and Rage Hunter entering Sector 3 here very shortly. He has made it an easy day for himself. He got the pole last week in Silverstone, and then he won his first race in the Speed Force Racing League last week in Silverstone.
The gap he put out Energy Dan. Rage Hunter destroyed the competition today.
That he did. Rounding the final corner now, Rage Hunter got the pole today, and he'll get the win once again. Crossing the line, Rage Hunter, top spot of the podium once more. Energy Dan, third in the points, but I think he's going to be second in the points after today. A nice run for him. P2 on the podium, going to cross the line. Now, second place goes to Energy Dan. Snellweg, your points leader, with a good recovery.
You'd be happy with that, Snellweg. You'd be very happy with that, by the way.
Yep, P3 for Snellweg as he crosses the line. Gamey Things going to be in fourth. Oh no, Snellweg in fourth because of time penalties.
Oh, that's interesting to see. I don't think Snellweg's going to be happy about that.
I would not be either. So it's going to be Gamey Things in third. The final spot of the podium. Snellweg's going to come in fourth. His teammate Kara in fifth. Proliver in sixth. Seventh, Racing Pod. Psychomich rebounding to a nice 8th place position. Good on him. Sonicock in 9th. Stupid Clavin in 10th. Sanath 11th. Bannister 12th. 13th, Gizlodian once he finishes. Shadowlancer already finished in the 14th position.
Was that Stupid Clavin's first points, I wonder?
It might have been.
Could have been. Well done, Rage Hunter. My driver of the day, my opinion. Dominated the race, controlled it well. Pole, fastest lap, win. He got the full house.
That he did, so good job on Rage Hunter. A second win in a row and a second win in his time for Speed Force Racing. So you know he's going to be satisfied with that. And
well
what
done,
is that, like
Rage Hunter.
podiums? 3 podiums in 2 weeks because of the GP3 series that you said.
I really wish he started the season in Australia. I wish he would have come earlier. I really, really do.
So
you don't know what the championship will say.
Yeah. So now your official running order for the Hungarian Grand Prix for the GP4 series and Speed Force Racing League. Rage Hunter, second win of his career, second win in a row. Energy Dan, second place on the podium. Gamey Things in third. Snellweg in fourth. Kara in fifth. Proliver sixth. Racing Podge in seventh. Psychomich in eighth. Ninth is Sonicock. Stupid Clavin in 10th. 11th is Sanath Bannister in 12th. 13th is Gizlodian. 14th is Shadowlancer. The rest are retirements. Hooky in 15th. Fanny Lion in 16th. Kiviat Torpedo in 17th. And Hyper Warskin in the 18th position. Gonna talk with Rage Hunter, Energy Dan, and Gamey Things here momentarily once we get them in this party. But what a race was that, Oliver?
Pretty standard race. Very, very standard race. Well done to the people that's done. Very good race. A few controversial moments here and there, but right as of if, I think that is a pretty standard good race.
I think it was too. So we're just waiting for the top 3 drivers to file on in here. Once everyone is in, we will be able to talk to them. So just give him a few more minutes, especially Rage Hunter. You know that if he's not already in here, he's probably celebrating his win, kicking back, relaxing. Who knows, maybe he went and grabbed a pint or something.
You never know. Okie dokie. See what we can do. It's a few moments, fellas. It's Gamey.
So we got Rage Hunter, Gamey Things, and now are we waiting on Dan?
We're going to get Dan here very shortly. Just give me a couple more to invite him. There he is. There we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Excellent.
All right, guys. Oh, who was that?
No, it's alright.
All right.
It is Dan.
And here is Energy Dan. So, before we start the interviews, guys, please make sure that you have allowed your voice to be shared. If you don't know how to do that, go over to the party settings and click Always Allow. Let me know when you are ready.
Energy Dan done.
I'm good. I'm good here. If you can hear me.
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent.
All right.
Rage?
Oh yeah, we're waiting on Rage. That's right.
No, I'm here, guys.
That's good.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so first things first, let's start with the third place finisher of Gamey Things. It was very, very close with you and Snellweg there, especially with about 2 laps to go. There was a very dicey moment to where Snellweg was over into the grass. Looks like you were trying to throw a block and just went too late, but you qualified second. You had a good race. You dropped back early on, but you were able to recover to a podium. So walk us through your race and everything that happened.
Well, I always first I just gotta say, this is what happens when my internet actually does well. It seems.
Dan.
Well, you gotta admit the 2 races I had bad internet was France and Britain, and obviously that went badly. But look at the races where I've actually had good internet. I've been on the podium every single woman time.
See, so it does pay to have a relationship with the telecoms guy. Fair play, Gamey.
Anyway,
So
as
can you
for my
talk
race,
us through what happened with you and Snellweg?
What do you mean?
The incident that you had, were you a bit too aggressive defending because Snellweg was onto the grass, or was you really racing hard to keep your position?
Whereabouts was this?
About two laps from the end. You should know.
Well, I don't even know if Snellweg actually finished in the 4th, because I'm pretty sure he had a bunch of problems, and he had like connection in I really don't know what's happening. He was just to me he was just a slow moving ghost car.
I see.
Yeah.
So
and
how was your racing, Gamey?
What?
How was your race?
My race was good. I wasn't actually expecting to actually be on the podium at Hungary, so yeah, well played.
And the strategy for you, was it a good strategy on your part? That also was it the strategy good on your part, and to get this podium today?
Well, clearly the strategy must have been good enough to get them at the podium by doing them at a 1-stop. So clearly it was good enough, but I would have liked to have stayed on my starting set of Reds for a bit longer, maybe 1 or 2 more laps. But my tyres just dropped off just dropped. So I had to change around where the game would want you to pit. And during the end, I was just like, "It's okay. It's 5 laps to go. Are these tyres even going to make it?" So, but luckily they did. And so yeah. Strategy worked out, and yeah, it's all fun and dandy.
Well done, Gamey.
So now we'll turn our attention to the second place finisher of Energy Dan. So Energy Dan, first things first, not sure if you're aware, I'm sure you are though, your teammate did not have the best of days, and by that I mean he retired. So with this podium position, I do believe that you are now second in the point standings, because you were only about 5 behind him going into this race. And you did not have the best qualifying session, but you were able to rebound and work your way up to second. So walk us through that process.
Yeah, it's a shame about Hooky. He was doing really well round here, showing pace. But I've not really done any practice round here. I've done maybe 2 sessions. I knew that anyone starting on softs only had 2 options, would be soft, medium, or soft to hards. So I was always going to go for the medium to hard. But I was going to save a set of mediums. I'll try and use a set of mediums to go on to if a safety car came out, and do maybe medium hard and then switch back to the mediums. But yeah, I kind of ruined my qualifying in a way by I did 2 installation laps thinking that it'd make the tyres a bit grippier, and it didn't really work out. And then I thought, do you know what? I'm sticking with my gut instinct and doing medium to hard. So yeah, I think I qualified 11th or 12th, I think it was 12 maybe.
Yeah.
Because I knew that most of the soft runners would have to pit between laps 4 and 6, so I knew that if I could get through turns 1, 2 and 3 cleanly, I just had my time, and I avoided all the incidents. I did some really early braking, and I knew people would overshoot because it's a short run. on the warm-up lap, I was doing lots of burnouts on the rear tyres. I was also doing cross-pedalling to make sure my brakes were nice and warm. And then, turn 1 made up 3 positions, I think. And then I think turn 2 or 3 I made up another couple. So I was up to 7th place, I think. And then, I just kind of... I think it was... Cara was chasing. Or Snellweg. And Sonic. And I could tell Sonic's tyres were going super hot because he was going wide and losing traction. So I picked my spots. He went wide, took him. And then, I just put pressure on Snellweg. And then, obviously, I think I got him... on the home finish straight into turn 1, I think. And then, just once I cleared Snellweg, I found myself in clean air. And then I realised that I was in a really good spot, shortly just running P2. And then I thought, do you know what? If I just drive carefully, don't overdrive the car, try and get no penalties. And it seemed to pay off. I didn't really have any moments, especially turn 4, I think that stupid little curve, or turn 5, is it? See, I was just focusing... Yeah, turn 4, I was just focusing on getting the car around the corner as nicely and smoothly. And to be honest with you, I said to Hookie during my broadcast, I went, this has been the race of my life. I just got my head down, just did it right. But I was contemplating chasing Rage Hunter towards the end, because he was 16 seconds in front with 6-second penalties, and I thought, he's been on those hards for a long time. But Rage Hunter's pace round here is just sickening. So well done, Rage.
I was going to ask you, actually, Dan, what do you think of Rage Hunter's pace over the past 2 weeks? Do you think
disgusting?
Is it pushing higher?
It's not on. It's not allowed.
You've just been told, Rage.
Seriously though, Rage, absolute stellar race, mate. Soft to hards, I think he did.
He actually did soft. I think he did soft, hard, soft. I think.
Oh yeah, because he came in for the fastest lap at the end of the year. But yeah, that soft to hard would still have worked. I think I was only catching like a 10th a lap. So great pace, mate. Well done, Gamey. Well done to you as well, pal. Great result, mate.
All right, so now we're going to turn our attention to the Haas driver, the winner of Rage Hunter. So Rage Hunter, pole last week.
GP3.
Seconded.
So, pole last week, win last week. Pole today, win today. I would say walk us through your race, but the only thing you're going to be able to tell us is how empty the track was ahead of you. So how about you tell us about where the pace is coming from? Because you joined us in Canada, and you had a breakout performance, and you could have won Canada. You had a really good race with, I do believe, Racing Podge that week, and even a few weeks later, you rejoined him for a nice battle, and now here you are, finally, after getting your bearings in the GP4 series, winning races. So just tell us where this pace came from.
Yeah, sure. It's so sort of getting into Canada and having a fight with the boys and just finding my way really in the series. And last couple of weeks I've just worked on the setup a little bit more, got used to the track. It's just practice. I put in a good few sessions on time trial just to get used to braking points, turning points where you can and can't push the limit of the circuit. And you do get used to it pretty quickly, to be fair, once you've got the right setup. So. Yeah, it's a good race, and well done to Gamey Things and especially Energy Dan for coming through the field the way he did. I couldn't believe he was behind me in second place halfway through the race. It was a cracking race, so well done, guys.
And the strategy that you pulled out, Rage, the soft meaning hard, tell us the process for that.
Yeah, so the plan was to do something similar to Energy Dan, as to qualify in the mediums. So I went out on a set of softs, put a little banker lap in, and I knew I could go faster on the mediums, but I just messed the qualifying up on the mediums, so I decided to call it off last minute, and then I was stuck then to my extra softs, so I went out late in qualifying and pumped in a hot lap on the softs, because I knew you could do soft hard if you were easy on the hards towards the end of the race. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I had penalties, and Dan was behind me, and I felt I had enough time in me to go back in, get another set of softs on, and go for the fastest lap as well. So that's what I did.
So you went on the softs for strategy reasons to get the fastest lap. That is a very sneaky move. But when you were catching Dan at a rate of knots, and was it under a lap? You caught Dan. Were you believing yourself that after you put the softs on, Dan was on 11, 12 laps on hard, you thought, yeah, race winner?
Yeah, barring any mad incidents with safety cars, which has happened quite often in the last few races I've been with you guys. But yeah, I had enough gap, and I knew my pace on the softs was quick, so I pitted and caught up to Energy Dan pretty quickly, and he left me space, so I left him a bit of space, and it was a clean pass. And with Dan being on the older hards, I didn't think he was going to fight it too much, to be honest. But I needed to get past him and crack on to add those penalties.
Well, maybe not the secrets that we were hoping for Rage Hunter, but hey, congratulations to the win.
Is he keeping his cards close to his chest, I wonder?
Honestly, I would. I mean, I would. I'm a very secretive person when it comes to competition like this, so I would. I'm not even sure if I'd give my teammate my setup. Maybe my teammate, but that'd be just about it. So I think with that, that's all we have time for. So,
Tim.
Yes.
Really quickly, sorry, mate. Can I just rage something?
Yes.
If you don't mind sharing. What wings were you running, Rage?
7-11.
Yeah, you see, I tried
7-11
because I knew I was going to go medium hard, and I felt it was very oversteery, so I went back down to 610, but then I changed my wing up for the hard stint. Yeah, fair play, mate. Yeah. What did you do, Gamey?
I did 7-9.
Ah, fair one. Okay, cool.
I'm processing this information now for tomorrow.
So the winning strategy is buy your wing setup from the local convenience store. if you're not aware, 7-Eleven is actually a brand of convenience stores here in America. More popular in the 80s than I think it is now, but...
That's Rage Hunter's new nickname for the league, 7-Eleven, because he's always on the throttle.
There we go.
True.
We're going to call him 7-Eleven. We'll call it in the broadcast too. And with that, I think that's about all we have time for. So until next time, good evening, good day, good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world. I'm Tim with Oliver. Good night, have fun, and goodbye.
Ta-da.